When last we left off, our pack of misfits had been following an odd trail, something leading them to the past. The world of the Garou within Montreal was in a bit of turmoil. Factions were being built up, lines were being drawn, and the tides of change were very much upon the Garou, as the city around them growing more and more every day, encroaching more and more on one of the last great cairns of Canada. Feeling that pressure, that push on them, the Garou of the Holy Mountain have begun to question their leadership. But for the most part, that didn't really play a factor into this group's machinations. No, Colette, who had been obsessed with relics of the past, and more importantly, any way that she could possibly stick it to her father, she was going to take. However, being the heir of essentially the Silver Fangs within the city, things began to get very odd. People knew things about this pack. People doubted this pack's resolve, while others garnered for their favor. But all of it was brought on by a shared vision that these individuals had, a shared vision that, oddly enough, no one else in the Garou Nation seemed to have had. They followed the path of a wolf that appeared to be rotting to them, a wolf that in the spirit world left tendrils of inky blackness. Following this and several clues of legends of old, they found themselves in a tomb. And in this tomb, they encountered a werewolf in Krynos form, asleep, or at least it appeared to be asleep, with a large object impaling its chest, almost stapling it to the stone coffin in which it laid upon. They saw an odd marking upon the wall, which depicted to them the hardest that they focused on it, the immediate recollection of a shared memory, a memory of the past, of this large wolf, this large werewolf, simply known as the First, being betrayed by a woman in black, and him being subsequently staked, if you will, to this particular stone piece. And while they came to an agreement of sorts, speaking with the wolf, trying to understand its motivations, Colette took it upon herself to draw the blade. The King's Claw. Upon pulling it from this creature's chest, she felt the power of it, the commanding presence begin to course through her body. But in that same token, she learned of a legend. She learned of who was the only one who could truly free the First. And she learned of things of her past, that the rebellious nature she has towards her father, the Silver King, begins to make more sense. For he was not her father, and she was not of the tribe that she was led to believe. And standing aloft, this creature, its eyes opening up, only not the eyes of man or the eyes of wolf, but eyes of pure red. Its hands begin to twitch and move. A slow cough lets out. The wound still open from where the King's Claw was pulled. Its teeth silvered and rotting at the same time. Its flesh sagging on its face. its eyes glowing, shifting colors, unnatural in every way, its fur beginning to be mottled. Kind of like that scene in Indiana Jones where when the man drinks from the wrong cup, only it stops about halfway through, as if time was catching up with this creature. Colette, in this moment, you leap down, holding the King's Claw as it sits up. It breathes out, and as it breathes out, there is this cloud that comes from it. This breath of corruption that exhales from its lungs as its head turns and looks, its gums blackened, lips curling. A shadow has released me. Where? Who? I know you. Each dreamed of you. Where is this? Where is this place? I do not feel the moon.
You're underground. You're underground in Quebec, Canada.
I was in the city of Montreal, the French city.
I'll just look to the rest of my pack. You're still here, boy.
Where is the black bitch?
I don't think you can say that. I don't know who you're talking about.
The one that betrayed me. She adorns in the black. She took from me.
I hate to break it to you, but that was centuries ago.
You see his eyes get large. Then as he does, as our eyes get large, like the confusion begins to set in, and his eyes bolt, right? And in this moment, they feel as though they notice and see everything, despite the almost instantaneous cataract that seems to cover them. And the faint light within the room gives off a green sheen as the eyes search around, and he feels, you see a clawed hand come up, and he feels at the hole in his chest, and he pulls his hand away, and as he does, strings of black ichor connect. This was not the deal. You have what belongs to me. Give it, pup. Give it. And his ichor-covered hand reaches out towards you, Colette.
I think she instinctively takes a step or two away, like backwards.
I am smaller than every other Krynos here in Glabro, but I'm still alpha, so I'm putting an arm like between Colette and this thing.
Worm.
Hold.
Worm. You dare speak to me? And he his legs swing over, and at that moment, the full height of him is standing up. You smell of unnatural, and you call me worm. You smell of stone and mortar. You smell of iron and metal. You smell of the machinations of man. And you call me worm?
Do you smell of rotten death?
I am the first. Give me what is mine. And he his hand reaches out and he does that half stumble lunge at the king's claw. What do you do?
I'm kind of shadowing his movements, so if he ever goes to make actual contact, I'm going to try to intervene. But I'm behind him, almost just shadowing wherever he goes.
So in his movements, he's stiff. He's not quite comfortable in his own body at this point, right? But his mind, with every passing second, is becoming more and more aware. His movements, every time he moves, pick up a little bit more fluidity, more natural, less rigid, less chunky and clunky type movements, as he once again becomes in control of his body. And he looks. You're the shadow. Who? You smell of silver. You smell of royal.
You called us here. You reached out to us in wolf form.
Huh?
We were here to help.
Who is the woman in black?
He gave me the power to keep the cairn safe against all those who would try and ruin it.
But who was trying to ruin it?
You can see him struggling to try and remember, right? And he he lets out a vicious roar and he swipes his hand and he just, the woman in black, stop. You, shadow.
Can you change into this form? He's back. Doc is in his human form, and he's like, "Can you change back to this?"
He's actively sniffing.
Do I get the impression that his memory was altered, or that he's just been down for so long? It's more of a cloud. Okay.
Yeah, everything's a cloud for him.
Okay,
right
so
now.
he's just struggling because he's got dementia, kind of he's been down for so
essentially.
long that
Yeah.
he can't grasp things. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He starts sniffing at you.
I'm gonna pivot a bit to look to Colette and ask, I think, the question that we haven't realized yet, which is, Colette, why is he calling you a shadow?
I think she looks at you I think she is just as confused. She's the only one who saw the stuff, right? That was all when she grabbed it, right? I think you can make a roll if you want to look through the subterfuge, but I think she looks just as confused as you about what is going on. And it's hard to tell if she knows more or not.
I'll make that roll if that's a roll to make.
Sure. She trying to lie.
That's 4 successes.
Okay.
Almost all of its rage dice.
So you need to roll against that for lying if you're going to, that's your difficulty that you're going to have to beat.
Yeah. No, she full fails that. I actually think that this would be considered a social test if she's in Krynos. I mean, she automatically fails that in Krynos because that's just something that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I don't know if you can read expressions on a werewolf face. Probably.
I mean, I would think that you of all people would be able to read each other's expressions.
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah, she is not saying everything, and maybe there's a reason. But yeah, she knows something. But she just looks super confused.
Warder, you not know your own pack?
Speak your piece, then. What do you know?
You are warder of men. She, Lord of Shadow. He, child of the Gaia. Him, Desert Walker. Silent Strider. You smell of the sand. He smells of the earth. You smell of iron and stone. And she smells of treachery.
Well, you might be a little off on that. I'm saying this looking back at Colette, waiting for any kind of an explanation. You might be a little bit off on that, considering who her father is.
I am not wrong. I smell it.
Worm's got his brain.
Hold. Colette, do you know what he's talking about?
She just kind of like looks at the claw in her hand and looks at you, and there's kind of genuinely a look of concern on her face as she looks in your direction and is like, my father has been lying to me. But I swear I didn't know this.
I believe you. He's the kind of dick that'll lie to people to get his own way, ain't he?
He sniffs. And he like closes on Colette.
I'm still between.
Yeah, I think she's like instinctively doing the stumble backwards thing. Like,
You're gonna run out of room real fast.
Yeah. She's very shaken right now. She's shook.
I think you'll see Doc kind of like maneuver himself to where he's behind Tinker, but in front of Colette, as he's just keeping his eyes on the first as this is going on.
And just would be behind the first, and I'm just looking at.
Oh,
Tinker
he never allows you to get behind him. He'll let you get on the sides of him, but he won't ever.
Okay,
ever
so
let you on the
I'm like
backside.
on the back side of him, but like, because I'm trying to shadow him. If he's moving towards Colette, I'm just following him. So
like he keeps sniffing at her.
okay,
Like he's trying to like he's very much like, out of all of you, this is the one that he's just like like through scent he's learning more about who and what she is.
my eyes just keep darting from him to Tinker, waiting for a go sign.
You've been down for a while there, boy. Sit. Rest. Gather yourself. You've got a lot to figure out here.
Sit. I am no dog to call to heel. I am the first.
It's advice, not an order.
Warder of men thinks he can tell the first to do his bidding.
You have been down here for a long, long time. We know more about what's going on right now. We can help fill the gap. Just take a seat so we can talk. We can heal.
You, child. Heal me.
Sit down first.
Do as your great wolf commands. Heal me.
You are not his alpha.
He turns and he looks. Challenge of leadership, then.
Absolutely not.
And he like starts to pace around the room, right? And he's looking at the walls, and he's like, his head keeps rocking back and forth, like he's like trying to shake out an earworm or whatnot. And you see his claws like reach up, and he like scratches at himself like a dog with fleas would, right? But as he does, every time he does, chunks of flesh come with it, revealing corrupted muscle, rotting flesh underneath it.
We're gonna have to do something.
Yeah.
Are we getting the impression that he's kind of going in like a little bit frenzy right now? Like, is he kind of
He woke up that way.
Okay. He
woke up that way, but with each passing moment, that smell of corruption within him begins to grow, and you can see like this is you as humans have seen this before. He would not understand what it is, right? You as humans have seen what happens when a dog with rabies starts to go. And he's starting to take those first steps where his brain is catching up with his body. His memories are starting to place. Deal was made. Deal.
Tell us about the deal.
Power.
Why?
Keep the worm taint away.
Worm
I give
taint?
myself to one of the three. Give myself to one of the three, and I can keep it away. What turned on me?
Who turned?
You smell good. And it's like his tongue lolls out, and it is blackened along it, right? And it like licks up. And as you see, his already pronounced canines start to get a little bit longer.
I'm making 2 rage checks, and I'm passing them both, and I'm slow shifting from Glabro back up to Krinos as I put myself between my beta and this abomination. And the voice just goes gnarled as I go down.
And he like looks at you and he goes, I am the first. You are nothing, Warder. You are nothing, Warder. Nothing. I am Silverfang. I am command. I am king, not you. You bow to me. I have made this place sacred. And he hops up, right? And he hops up on top of the stone, and he like crouches down. His spine cracking, and as it does, as it comes down, it begins cracking. You hear the bones in his spine snapping. But as it does, bone shards start to stick up out of his spine, out of his elbows.
I'm going to make one last attempt to get him to back down as he says all this, and I start pointing myself. I say, Alpha. Point to the group. Pack. And then I point to the King's Claw in Colette's hands. Command.
He points to the King's Claw, and he stares you dead in the face. And as he does, I need you at this point to make a composure and resolve roll.
That is a 5 critical.
Okay. You feel a scent start coming off of him. And it begins to fill your senses. And at first, you don't want to approach. You don't want to get anywhere near this. It smells like the worst skunk you've ever encountered, the worst rotting carcass you've ever seen, the most hot garbage that you can imagine. and he looks in his eyes and he goes, "Hey, pup, give me what is mine. I don't want to eat you, but I will." You
don't have to.
You make peace with treachery. I offer you power.
At what cost? What have you done?
I have become that which I needed to be. That which I needed to be to stop the worm from consuming all.
I'm going to look to Colette. The look in the eyes is trying to read want, read intent. Does she want what this thing is offering? Does she want to be protected from it? Does she want to stay away from it? It's part of that whole mentality of like the group for him still.
Yeah, I think that you definitely see she's still very concerned. And I would say by her body language, she wants nothing to do with this thing. I think her logic brain is saying, we've got just about everything we're going to get out of this. Like every question we're asking is just a spiral back on something else. So I don't she just kind of, you get the impression that she's just done. This conversation can't keep happening.
And that, coupled with the rotting smell and the overwhelming sense, she's going to turn back, stare at this thing, and to finish its sentence of, I became what I needed, I'll finish the sentence with, abomination.
And he just, no! And
I leap at him. You saying abomination, I'm going.
Okay. So for this, right, you're going to have to make a dex athletics roll if you're going to leap at him, because he is going to do something as well.
Okay.
At literally being called an abomination. So based on what he gets and what you get will determine what happens.
Remember, you got those full moons, George.
Yeah. What does doing one full moon get me before I roll?
You can add 2 dice.
You can add 2 dice with 1 moon then.
Yep.
Yep.
Help action needed. Thank you so much for raiding on in. We're about to start some combat, it seems like. So strap
Hey, Sean,
in.
hey, everybody.
Understand that this is a mature game with mature content and mature themes, so make sure you consider that while continuing to watch this particular game.
Wow.
I have 9 successes.
I have 8! 8 out of 10!
Willpower. Spend willpower.
Can I spend willpower? And if so, what does that do for me?
You can spend a willpower to gain a success.
Yeah, I'll spend the willpower. And by the way, I have to ask this. According to the rules, when I'm in Krenos, if I don't kill something last turn, I have to spend willpower. How much since we've been standing around talking, how much willpower do you think I need to take away?
I think we've been fudging that one a little bit.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Word of the wise: don't point out rules to the DM.
Yeah.
No, but I told you before we started. If I have to go frenzy and go nuts, that's fine.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
Okay, I'll just spend 1 then to match him at 9.
He blurs out of your vision, moving with a speed unlike that of any Garou you have encountered in your existence. And only by the quick thinking and judgment does Rusty manage to grab him, tackling him on midair as it's moving. The very dust around him, around the first, still in the air as he is slammed against a wall by Rusty. Now, this essentially takes us into combat. Rusty, you and I being in hand-to-hand combat are going to be the ones that go first. What are you going to do?
The thing, it depends on what you tell me. I want to do damage to him, but most importantly, I want to keep him out of everyone else's. Like, I don't want him to be in melee with anyone else but me. So if I have to grapple him, or if I can make some attacks, I'll do one of those.
I mean, you've got him against a wall right now, so you're going to have to decide what you're going to do. He is most definitely going to be attacking you.
Oh, good. Then I'm just going to attack.
Okay.
I'm just going to, like, reach down and start trying to, like, tear flesh off his neck.
So if you're going to attack, that means you're going to forego dodging his attacks.
Yep.
Okay. So he has celerity, so he is going to hit you first.
Okay.
He is an abomination. All right. That is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is going to be 7 successes to hit you. He is going to be doing 7 points of superficial damage to you as his claws rake into your flesh as he shoves you away.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
so basically, that'll go up your track, and then once it starts going through again, that's when it starts to tick off as aggravated damage.
Or you could do, like, isn't it like each one of those represents half?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. There goes my Krinos health. So yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll at him.
Okay. There we go. Yep. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 successes.
Okay. What are you attacking him with?
I'm attacking him with my bite. I'm trying to, like, bite down on his neck and just tear as much as I can off.
Okay, fair enough. As you do, let's see here. All right. So as you bite down into him and begin to tear, it lets out a massive howl. And as that flesh enters your mouth, you taste the taint. It's on your tongue. It begins to overload your senses. Your eyes go wide. Gain a point of rage.
Yay!
Wrong taint.
I'll go for his taint later.
Mm.
Please
Now,
continue.
yes. Which one of you? What are the rest of you doing? Which ones are you going to do?
Tinker's going to reach back for Colette, but more specifically for the King's Claw, and he's going to say, "Me or you."
Oh, I think she kind of can't let it go. I think instinctively she, like, clutches it harder, and just says, "I'll mirror you."
Then I'm going to point and go, "In the heart," and I'm going to slam both of my claws down on the first's head.
All right. Go ahead and make your attack.
I'll spend one of those moons that was graciously given to me for.
Thanks, Reese, for the bits.
Thank you for all bitty bitties.
Oh, I got 2 more moons.
Yeah, fill that moon pole. We need
You
it.
earned them, buddy. Yeah, I'm going to spend
Yeah.
one of my moons for 2 extra dice. So first is the 4 dice bonus, and then the 2 dice from the moons, and now I actually do my my stats. God, I love being a werewolf.
Arrgh.
I'm getting flashbacks when I played a Tremere and I rolled blood sorcery with the sound of this many dice in my hand.
Don't tempt Bleak.
Oh, Jesus, really? 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 critical. I love being a werewolf.
Damn.
All right.
And it's up, and +3 is claws damage.
Okay. All right. This is superficial damage, yes?
It's claws, so yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So it's 9 + 3 superficial.
All righty. Okay. All right. Colette.
I think so. Tinker is going to kind of jump at the first's head.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got to do cool shit, guys. She's going to instinctively like take what's the best? I'm not a gymnast. I think she's just going to try to slide underneath his legs and pop up and stab him in the heart.
So you're gonna have Rusty between you and his legs, like as an example.
Oh, is Rusty on the ground right now?
Rusty's directly in front of him.
Oh. Okay. I'm not
Yeah,
a
I think,
theater
like,
of the mind person.
I'm leaning
so
down and biting him, and Tinker is like next to him, just clawing his
Okay.
face.
okay. Okay. Change of plan. We're gonna do something even cooler. We're gonna kick flip off the wall, and we're gonna try to stab him in the side. So
Okay.
he did go for a slash. So I'm gonna hope that like part of his like rib cage is open, and I'm gonna try to slip it between some rotten.
Go ahead and give me a melee attack.
Okay.
And just to give you a heads up,
Melee.
you've got like 7 moons. That you
Yeah,
can spend.
we're gonna drop some things. Okay, so I have melee dexterity or
No, strength. This is
Strength.
Melee strength.
yeah, okay. 2, and then I have 4. And how many moons? Can I only spend 1?
I mean, you can spend as many
2.
moons as you like, but once they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend 2 moons for 4 more dice.
Okay.
So that's gonna bring me to 10.
Are you including the 4 dice that you get as a
Yes,
bonus? to
I
physical
am.
Test? Cool. Awesome.
Yeah, I am thin and frail and smart, and I am not. I wasn't anticipating the. Yeah. Okay.
Honestly, same.
Okay. And then these 7. And I have to remember 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, one of them has a skull on it. Is that the critical thing?
That'd be like the brutal.
Yeah.
Okay. It was 8, and then one of them had a skull on it.
Okay, cool.
I've never seen that before, actually.
Okay. All right. So, do you bury it in him or do you just slash?
I think she kind of wants to do a little bit of a tearing action. So she's kind of like trying to like stab and then kind of like twist and tear at trying to like break things loose inside.
Okay.
If that
all
makes
right.
sense.
Fair enough. All right. So you stab it in and you twist it, and his eyes turn, like you physically feel his eyes looking at you.
That's not good.
I need you to make a resolve composure roll, please.
Sorry, my windows are all over the place. Okay. Okay. 4.
You got to roll 4 dice.
No, I got 4.
Oh, you got 4 successes.
I got 4 successes
cool.
on 5 dice.
You're feeling it is taking willpower, not that you're spending it, but actual willpower for you to remain in his presence. Everything about him is that which should not be. that which you have been warned about, that which your old stories have told you, that abominations are just that. They are a combination of the raw strength and power that is the Garou, and the longevity and fortitude that is the undead. Justin.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. Using the moon beforehand gives me, what, 2 extra dice?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm going to burn one of those moons real quick, and then I'm going to go do a Mother's Touch on Rusty, seeing them taking significant amount of damage. Let's see. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Rusty, what's your rage at right now?
My rage is at 4.
Okay. Come on.
My rage on paper is at 4.
Okay.
Me, the player, is at 8.
Okay. That's 2. So what is it? I think I got a critical success on 1 and then 2 successes out of the 7. So I heal you for 3 superficial damage, but I do not take out an aggravated damage.
That's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. This thing holding on to Rusty, looking around at each of you. His breathing becomes labored. And his breathing stops. And his eyes are darting around. And you can see the flesh on his side beginning to slowly stitch itself back together. Are you going to attempt to dodge, Rusty?
Yeah, I'm going to attempt to dodge.
Okay. Oh, shit. Okay. All right. So that is going to be a brutal critical on Rusty.
Okay.
Moons
Okay.
and dodge.
You got some moons.
Can you tell me what the number was, or do I have to just?
Oh, sorry. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with a brutal critical.
Okay.
You have 5 moons.
I
5.
will spend 2 moons to add 4 more dice. And I'm rolling dexterity athletics.
Yes.
Okay.
Plus 4 for your physical test.
Yep. Oh, and actually, I'm at 4 rage dice now. I'll because I have enough dice, I'm going to do 1 more moon.
Okay.
So I'll add another 2. So that'll be total of 3 moons.
All right.
This is all the dice I have.
Let's hope it works.
1, 2. I matched with a brutal crit. That's 6, and I have 2 of them are teeth.
Okay. All right. So as you match with him, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, because I got 1. That would be 1. That would be 7, and then the 2 teeth.
Okay. So as you back up just in time to see his jaw snap right at the end of your own muzzle, you can see that he was very much going for you. His hands moving out in either direction. Jacqueline, are you going to dodge or are you going to take the hit?
Kurt, listen to me. Kurt,
Yeah.
Hear me out.
listen, hear me out. Hear me out, buddy. Hear me out.
Yeah.
There's a crisp Benny in your way if you just not say my name. If you just say someone else's name.
Okay.
Crisp
Colette, are you going to dodge or take the hit?
Yeah.
At least it's aiming for Colette now, not you, the person. That would have been
that's
much
true.
worse.
It was really spooky to think that an abomination was going to come into my room just now.
I think you can only do that in mage.
She's gonna try to dodge. I don't think it's gonna do much, but she's
You need
not
to
gonna.
dodge 7.
Okay. What do I roll for a dodge again?
You're going to roll your dex and athletics.
Dex and athletics. Right. Okay.
And your werewolf dice.
Right. I have to 7. Okay. I'm gonna blow 2 moons. Cause I kind of have to.
Thank you, Stronghold D&D, for those gifted subs.
You're the best,
so
Tim.
very much.
That
Tim,
is-
the best paladin.
Yes. That is only 6, unfortunately.
You take 2 points of aggravated damage as his claws find their way into your stomach. And as they pull away, you see boned talons extending out with a black ichor almost running down them. As you recoil a little bit, you look down at the wound and you can see the wound starting to have a black rot set in.
And that's not converting my lethal right into aggravated. That's just 2 other aggravated on top of a lethal I have.
That is
okay.
correct.
Okay, it's getting spooky, guys.
Yeah.
Does she feel the taint or his taint?
Phrasing.
Or I'm going with the phrasing they gave me last time. Does she feel his taint, or is that just me because I bit him?
Just you because you bit him. You
Great.
feel his, George, your character feels the taint because he took his flesh into his mouth.
Yeah. I'm just making sure. Just
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I'm in danger.
I'm just
Sure
right.
game, folks.
This is fine.
Yes. At that, now it's Tinker. What are you doing?
I'm going to. Well, he decided to snap his jaws shut, so I'm going to wrench them back open. That was my go-to move last time. So I'm going to physical pull his jaw back open and try to do it in a way that tips his head back so that Colette can get a clear shot at his chest.
Okay. You're going to kind of so you're more or less going to try and do like a grapple on him, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, cool. Give me a strength brawl test, please.
4, 5, 6. And let's spend 1 more of those moons for an extra 2 dice because why not?
Oh, Jacqueline, look at you. Thank you.
Aw.
Let's see. He only got 4 successes to try and resist against you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus a brutal critical.
Okay, cool. So his head is pulled back, right? His head, you got a hold of him and you're yanking his jaw back, and he's fighting as much as he can against it, but he's got a lot of shit going on, right? You can feel his chest swelling as he's very much trying to fight against it.
I want to take a minute to thank the people in the audience because these moons are helping a not combat character do some major combat stuff. So for those of you that donate to help us do this, thank you.
Doc, you're up. What are you doing?
I'm not stopping what I'm doing. I'm seeing Rusty's taking some gnarly damage, and Doc's just continuing to pump as much of the mother's touch as he can to keep him going. I'm gonna burn another 2 moons. Nah, fuck it. We're gonna go
more this turn. I'm just letting you know. But you can help me. I'm happy with that. But you would have seen her get hit because he went to bite me and I was able to dodge it.
Okay, thank you. Then yeah, in that case, Doc would then move over, seeing that, and go to do the same. Do that for Colette. What's your rage level at right now?
My rage is 3.
Okay, I'm still gonna burn another 2 moons for this one, so that'll bring me up to 7 die to roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 7 successes, with one of them being with the teefies. So 1 aggravated, one aggravated damage is taken off you, and 6 superficial damage is taken off.
Is lethal damage superficial, or is that different?
No, it's the same thing. Lethal.
It's the same thing. Okay. So then I'm currently at 3 aggravated.
And then Doc would just say, finish him as quickly as you can. And then quickly back away and ready to move to the next person that needs it.
At the top of that, you're holding him and you're holding on to him so strong. And you can hear him mumbling something. You can hear him mumbling, right? And as you do, you can barely make it out. I call on the spirit of the mist. And with that, he turns into mist.
Son of a bitch.
And he reforms behind you all. Power! As he's going to charge directly at you, Rusty.
Great. I was going to charge at him. I want to eat his heart.
Okay.
Yeah. I think something's clicked with Rusty, that he's not leaving this place. So, yeah. Go for it. Do your worst.
That is, I have, I have 4 sets of teeth.
Ooh.
Brutal.
Yeah, I have 4 sets of teeth on this, and 2 successes. I just putting that out there. All right.
I committed. I don't know what that means.
As he the fucking double brutal success, critical brutal success. As he leaps across and spears you like Bill Goldberg onto the freaking ground, his mouth wrenching back, fangs dropping down on you. You see his body just slurp hard. You all physically see Rusty's body almost convulse at the amount of suction that is coming onto his body. Rusty, you take 4 points of superficial damage.
Okay. Yep. Okay. That's not that bad. I'm okay. Is there more?
There will
Just
be.
making sure before I recoil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm gonna try to. I guess he's biting me.
Jacqueline's just worried with the skilly hands.
Where's he biting me?
What's that?
Where is he biting
into right into your shoulder. He is
The taint.
locked on. No, it's not in the taint.
Then
This is serious for me, y'all.
I'm just gonna take my claws, and as he's biting into my neck, I'm just gonna push them as hard as they can under his rib cage to try to get to his heart.
Okay. Go ahead and make your roll.
Okay. And I will use 2 moons. That's 10.
Your hands jut up underneath his rib cage into his body, his flesh feeling almost gelatinous in this moment, and they grip around a beating heart. You rip down and out, and in your hands, this blackened beating heart with silvered looking veins is in your hands. You see the first reeling back, and in that moment of your unbridled rage, You sink your teeth into it and immediately begin consuming it. 1, 2, 3, and the blackened heart is consumed in front of your pack, and you pass out. The rest of you immediately shift to Hamid form. Whether you wish to or not, and you stand there feeling lesser. As if someone had just sucked the very wind out of your bodies. A part of you feels missing.
What the hell was that?
Rusty is still laying there in Krynos form, panting, blackness racing from his mouth, his fur around his mouth starting to turn white as it's slowly eking through around where his stomach would be. It begins to pulse and grow bulbous as the fur there begins to show white.
I'm immediately just rushing over to Rusty, and I'm going to do what Doc is going to do what he can to just work whatever he can right now. Try and use his mother's touch one more time. And fuck it, we're just going to use another 2. This is going to be 7.
Like, click, 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 click.
I'm gonna
1,
add
2,
this
3,
one
4,
and this
5,
one
6,
and
7.
this one.
That is 7 successes, 2 of them with TFs. So that'd be 2 of them with TFs. So that's at least one aggravated damage taken off, and then I don't know how you want to do with
We're good. You're good.
Yeah. Okay.
The white patches stay, but the swelling within his abdomen goes down. Rusty, you sit up in Hamid form. His eyes open, looking around left and right. Confused, unsure. And one of his eyes is green and cataract. Permanently bloodshot. Rusty, you cannot see out of one of your eyes. You may choose.
It's gonna be his right eye.
Rusty, you son of a bitch, you did it.
You're right there, bye.
I don't know.
What the
I might
fuck?
have fucked up.
What the fuck happened? Hold on. What's going on?
Rusty, I need you to make a resolve composure roll, please.
Okay. Good news is that I think, I have higher wit, but resolve and composure are pretty good. That's 3 successes. Or 4 successes, sorry.
They smell so fucking good. They smell delicious. But you
Rusty-
managed to push it down.
Rusty reaches down to like the tracksuit that he not tracksuit, but like the racing suit he wears, and he reaches down to one of the pockets to pull out a beer can that he had down there. And as he reaches for it, you see that it was punctured in the fight, and it's just spraying beer out onto the floor. And he's just I think I fucked up real bad.
Kurt, can I ask a DM question?
You may certainly try.
So, been werewolf all 60, 70 years. Do werewolves eat other werewolves' hearts?
No, they don't.
And
The Geta Fenris used to, and look what happened to them.
okay, so I need to make some sort of mental check on Rusty. I need to understand why the fuck he just did that, because she's immediately like backing away from him and like this is bad. Like he fucked up real bad.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to understand why he just did that.
For the purpose of Garou, you just saw Rusty eat the soul of an abomination in physical form.
Yep.
I would
What?
say if you're looking at Rusty, you don't see, like, you see complete regret on his face. And you might see that it was almost like an act out of frenzy to do that.
We've seen Rusty like freak out before, right? Like I feel like that's an Omega thing to do. Has Rusty ever come? I'm making you think of this on the spot, George, so I apologize. But like, would we have ever seen Rusty do something to this extreme?
No.
I feel like not. I mean, certainly not to a creature like this, right? Obviously, but
Like you want to
maybe, like,
square up with werewolves, but you're not trying to like murder them by doing.
if I was eating prey, like if we were running in the woods and I caught something, I would probably dive nose first into it.
Mhm.
But you haven't seen me do that to a person before. I would probably not. Not that I didn't want to. You know.
Right. Yeah, she's trying to understand intent from like accident. Like, was this truly something that was, because he seems remorseful. Is this truly something that he regrets? Or was that like his intention? Was he wanted like, to do something awful?
You're trying to apply a human trait to an inhuman thing.
Yeah. Oh, she's in human form. That's immediately what she's going to try to do.
I get that.
Yeah.
He did what he was called to do. He did what he wanted to do. He let the rage consume him.
Colette is on guard. Like she is not having any of this.
Tinker's
Doc,
taking oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say Doc is now kind of like coming into the realization of everything. With his form still up, the ability to see between both worlds. What is the difference between what's going on in the physical realm versus the spiritual realm?
In the spiritual realm, it's void.
Just a void around
Like
Rusty.
it's stone. Oh, looking at Rusty?
Yeah.
If you were to look at the souls and the spirits of those around you, they would be bright and shining. They would be glimmers of light against the darkness that you find yourselves in. Rusty looks like a negative on a photo.
Rusty, you're going to see Doc's face as he's looking at you, tilts his head a little bit, comes to that realization before you just kind of see sadness in his eyes. And then he's going to just lean forward and put his forehead against yours and just put his hand on your arm and just grab onto it. And then he'll say, "You did good. You did good." And then just kind of slowly stand back up and stand up.
The ground begins to shake. Dust and stone begin to fall around you. The room in which you stand, the stone dais in which the first was laid upon, cracks, and it shoots across the floor and up the wall where you saw that image etched into the wall. The room begins to collapse around you. The crack running up the wall and through the Garou and through the symbol of the silver fangs.
Rusty's like stuck and looking at you guys, looking at you, Tinker, and you, Colette, for direction, guidance.
I'm going to make a rage check to shift to Glabro.
Increase the requirement by 2.
2 rage checks?
Mm-hmm.
I failed one of them, so I'll decrease by 1. So I'll shift to Glabro. And there's a look in his eyes of that taking more concentration than it should. Like, it looks like he visibly had to shift. I was looking to everybody.
You all see him shift, but it's not fluid. It's not normal. It's not the way that you all have shifted for years and years. It's piecemeal. And you see him physically struggling to do so, but he does so.
We need to go.
The rocks begin to fall. On the far side of the room, a door is there with a stairwell leading up.
We need to go or we stay here forever.
I think Colette is staring at Rusty. And I think across the like impression you're all getting is that she's not turning her back on this one. Like she will be last to go. She would rather die down here than turn her back on whatever that is. Like she's not responding to this well.
It's funny you say that because I was actually thinking Rusty's looking at you, waiting. Like, I'm not moving till you move kind of thing. And when I see you don't move, Rusty just... Do I need to stay here? And I look at, like, the dead first. And I look at the slab he was on. He was on a slab, right?
Yeah.
I look at the slab he was on. And I look at you, and I look at your sword.
I don't know if we can put that key back in that lock like that.
Just go. And she flicks the claw like in Tinker's direction, kind of like waving you forward.
Come on. I've moved to the door to guide my pack up. Before you get crushed. Come on.
When you said you told him to go, are you still looking at me? Or
yeah.
Like am I reading this that you expect me to go too?
Yeah.
Okay. I like hesitate for a moment. I look back at the slab and I just nod my head and I follow.
I think you're going to see Doc sidestep out of there. Because now he wants to see what's going on the other side.
As you sidestep and you see your friends running up this hall, you following, the black tendrils have found new purchase. And they are moving with your packmate. And as he's going through, the faint spirits that still lie in this area within the ground, everywhere he moves, the death of those spirits litters his pathway.
Doc is just thinking that of all the times that he's had to deliver bad news to people, he'll never forget the first time he did it. And right now, it feels like he's reliving that all over again. So as he follows and just is observing everything, when the pack finds a spot that safety, that is in a safe spot, that's when he'll take that moment to come back out. Yeah.
As you are going up, the safety of those spots are fleeting as you are running up the stairs, as you are through corridors. After a short period, you come up and you step onto cobblestone, brickwork, through an iron gate. And you hear behind you the sound of a cave-in and the dust blowing up behind you. And looking around, you see coffins to the left, to the right. And as you push forward, you hear the sound of people.
I'm going to hold the group as we hear people. And with Doc reappearing, I'll turn and say, "What did you see?"
It'll be a very, very pained look that he gives you before he looks over to Rusty and then back to you. And he'll just say, "We need to get out of here. I have really bad news. And no one is going to like what I have to say."
"What did you see?"
The black tendril, the darkness, the corruption is following Rusty.
"What's it doing?"
He is the embodiment of it now. And then he'll look over to Rusty and just say, "I'm sorry. I still think you did good, bud."
You all hear the sound of iron on iron as gates ahead push open. And several individuals come walking in. You're unable to make out who they are, but in the faint light, you catch the glint off of their eyes. And they don't smell alive.
Worth noting, storyteller, that I'm still in Glabro form.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As they do, you hear one of them speak. "Found yourself in the house of God, but you don't belong here. But a deal's a deal. deal is a deal. And I hope you did not destroy anything of value down there, Fleabag. That's enough of that. As Ulf comes down the stairs. Told you I'd find you, and told you I'd make sure you got out fine. Deal is a deal. This way. And he gestures towards the stairs.
I just want to note that Colette butt naked. Like her clothes ripped when she went Kredos. So that's daddy. And she is very much birthday suit. Not that she gives a shit because she's been a werewolf since day one. So I don't think that really bothers her. But just for the audience at home.
I think I'm the only one with the rite of dedication, so I still have clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at this point, this is just it is what it is.
I just, it's a great mental picture as audience looking in, hee 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 hee. They're naked.
With that instruction, I'm going to look to Rusty, and I'm going to give one chance at this because despite everything, Tinker, again, is by the group. And I'm going to say to Rusty, do you want to go?
Reading the subtext here, the people with the glint in their eyes, are those vampires? That is what I picked up. Does Rusty feel anything from them?
Other than a predator recognizing a predator.
Would I notice that as a wolf?
No, as a wolf, they smell tainted. They smell like worm.
Okay, so I'm feeling something when I'm near them that I normally don't.
Correct.
What options are there?
I look to one of the coffins.
We don't have time for this, Ulf says. Come along.
We could get a drink first, maybe.
Yeah, we can get a drink first. He's gonna look over at Tinker and just kind of give him give Tinker a subtle nod.
A gesture for my pack to go first with Ulf.
You all are handed in passing, those of you that are naked, shirts that are probably too big, shorts, sandals. They all say the same thing. Thanks for visiting the oratory. As you realize you're walking around in one of the most holy sites in North America. It is said that if you crawl on your knees up these stairs, it will cure any ailment that your body may have. There are those that travel from all over the world to come here where a rumored saint is buried. Ulf looks at you. We need to go now.
I'll continue to urge my pack on. Very conflicted as I shift back to Hamid.
As you're going, you come up through the stairs and suddenly there's no voices. All you see are several individuals surrounding the area, light catching the glint off of their eyes, their smell that of not the living, watching you. And then there are those humans that are around that have just a touch of that undead scent. Walking out of the building, you find yourself in the night. Wolf says, "We need to get somewhere safe. I trust you have it." Is this the item then? Looking down. This is the King's Claw.
Yes.
What do you intend to do with it?
Make you tell me the truth.
The truth about what?
Everything.
His mouth curls a little bit. Well, certainly not dressed like that. And I think that's where we're going to take our little break for tonight, friends. Hi, everybody. When last we left off, our pack was being escorted out of the oratory by Ulf Jorgensen, wanting to know what happened. Being handed gift shop clothes, for lack of a better term, they all leave the building, going to the parking lot, piling into a large SUV. As it pulls away, Ulf driving, looking back at Colette in the rearview mirror. So what was down there? Aside from the blade.
Something dead, something not right, something lingering.
Whatever it was you did down there, everyone knows. Everyone felt something tonight.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. Do you
Well,
know what my father is doing?
He's calling a moot.
When?
Later tonight.
That's soon.
Well, many have felt an absence suddenly and are struggling to regain things. In an instant, all of the trees within the Sept went from luscious green to autumn fall. A balance has been broken. And they're looking for someone to blame.
I think she looks over at Tinker and says, do you think Tommy will make his move?
Depends on if we are considering this wartime.
I think that's what my father's trying to do.
Shall not challenge the leader in wartime. Can in peace. This is certainly somewhere in between. And you can see Tinker is very much at a loss right now. He's tried to ride that balance for so long that everything's just off the rails.
Where would you feel most at home? You're free to come to my residence to sort things out if you wish to lay low, or if you'd rather go somewhere else, I'm happy to take you.
No, he'll come for me. He's already sent Armand. We need a safe house.
Armand won't be a problem for you anymore.
Yeah, until the next croonie comes.
I want to see my wife.
He looks in the rearview mirror at you. She may not want to see you. Rusty, right?
What?
Have you looked at yourself?
What are you talking about?
And like at that, you're handed basically a cell phone to where you can look at yourself and see yourself. And you see the greened cataract eye. You see the white in the eyebrow. You see the scaly, dried skin at the edge of your hairline. You see the slightly blackened veins coming from around your lips.
And she loves me. She won't care.
I don't think it's a good idea. I think we need to stay together. Doc, you're awfully quiet.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. That's all. And you're just gonna see like him not even making eye contact with anybody. He would just be kind of focused elsewhere, knowing what he's seen, and just for him seeing him thinking of what the implications would be, and he doesn't want to accept it, but at the same time he knows this is that it's not a, for lack of a better term, it's not a good thing. So he's focused elsewhere as much as he can.
I think Colette will put a reassuring hand on your knee and just kind of squeeze gently, kind of feeling what you're feeling. She's definitely more on the anger side right now, but just acknowledging that was a lot.
You would probably feel, you would, once that happens, Doc would just kind of reach over, put his hand on Colette's and just kind of give her hand a little bit of a squeeze, and probably just hold it there until Colette decides to pull it away. But that reassurance right now is what he's looking for.
I say we lay low. We go to the Shadow Lord's Manor. We can see our families in the morning after the mute, if we make it through.
So you're going to go to the mute. Are you going to challenge your father?
I think the four of us need to talk first.
The four of us?
Not you.
Ah.
But we have to go. We can't not go. That's suspicious.
Well, walking in with that at a gathering of all the Garou could set a very particular precedence.
What the hell do you think we got to talk about?
Yeah.
When he says that, what is he referring to?
The King's Claw.
Oh, thank God.
Oh no! Rusty, no! Do I get the sense that Ulf can feel the corruption on Rusty, or just thinks that
Like
he like touched some magic.
Every 30 seconds, his eyes are darting to him.
Okay. He's getting something. Maybe not the whole deal, but he knows something is wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
After a short period, you guys pull up to a large 3-story home just on the outskirts of Montreal. The woods behind, and the city to the fore. He pulls up. My home is your home for the evening. Feel free to shower, change, do as you like. And I have a couple of matters to attend to. If you need me, I'll be in my study. As he walks in.
I think Colette walks straight into the backyard. Like, she doesn't even bother going inside the house. Like, whatever conversation the four of us are about to have, like, it could go bad, and she is not doing that inside a house. I imagine he's got a nice kind of like garden with a fountain, and like that's where she wants to be. Like birds are singing. I know it's nighttime, but you know what I mean. Like that's the vibe.
Oh, very much so. Yes, very much.
Yeah, the shining maze. That's what she's.
He doesn't quite have that, but you know.
Yeah. And she's just pacing in the backyard.
Okay, what about the rest of you?
Seeing Colette go back there, I'm going to look to Rusty and Doc and gesture to follow.
I follow.
I think, Doc, based on what you were thinking internally, I think there's a moment where our eyes lock and we're having that same feeling.
Yeah, it's just like that moment, like a small pause in time where not so much is said while nothing is being said.
Then we'll all convene in the backyard.
Okay, I'll go first. When I touched the claw, I saw some shit. My dad is not my dad.
So the thing down there was right.
Yeah. So I'm a little pissed off. Because I'm pretty sure the guy who is my dad just drove us here.
Oh. Lovely, Grant.
Yeah.
Did he know?
Yeah.
Did he?
You think so?
I think they all know. Well, he's got to know.
Yeah, Dash surely knows.
Yeah, he definitely knows.
Is that why he sent you?
I don't know. I think my father has had a plan for most of my life.
Sounds like Ulfin there is pretty keen on you usurping.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like he's had a pretty solid plan there too.
Yeah, and I can't tell which came first.
Mm-hmm.
The chicken or the egg.
You said you could make him tell the truth?
That's the legend.
Right. Yeah, no, Can you find out if he knew what was down there?
The real question is, what do we do now? Because yes, maybe I can get some answers. Who knew what the scheme was, what the plan was? Maybe I kill some people, I don't know. But what do we do? Because we didn't walk out of there having done a single fucking thing.
Well, we did a lot of things, unfortunately.
Yeah.
They just weren't the things that we were planning on doing down there. Now, half the pack has come out of there different.
That's the word I would use.
Rusty, I'm not gonna tell you you did wrong. If we'd let that thing get out of there, it would have been even worse. But we're in a predicament now.
Yeah. I guess we are. I fucking told you not to touch that thing. I told you not to.
Nobody told you to eat its heart.
We don't want to do this right now.
No, I think right now is the
It wouldn't
time
have-
we need to do this.
It didn't have to happen if you didn't fucking touch that thing. And that wouldn't have happened if you actually fucking led. And he points to Tinker. We didn't need to put up for a fucking vote.
It is irrelevant at this point. Get it through your heads right now. We are past that at this point.
Everyone gain 1 rage.
Mm-hmm.
What happens at 5 again? Bad things?
Well, if we
Yeah.
left Krinos, wouldn't we have gone to 1?
Okay.
When we leave
Right.
Krinos?
You would have. Well, you guys all dropped down to 3 when the heart was consumed.
Oh,
Okay.
I was already at 2, so
okay.
Yeah, I was at 3, so.
We're not all past it, Doc. Some of us are in the middle of it.
The heart was eaten. The king's claw is in her hands. We are not there anymore. The first is dead for all intents and purposes.
That wasn't the first anymore. And you know that, Doc. That stopped being the first centuries ago. And the first is not dead because now it's him. And points at Rusty.
We have a difficult choice to make now.
and you see the problem there, Rusty, with actually leading is that if I do an actual leader thing, then I have to make a choice that none of us want to make right now.
Why don't you say it out loud, Tinker?
It's does Rusty walk away tonight? Because if I were an actual leader making decisions, then no, maybe none of us would have touched that sword down there. But if it had gotten done, we got to the point we are now. An actual leader would stick by the litany and uphold it at any means, and that means curbing abominations. But you see, I'm not a great leader, but you're still my pack.
Yeah.
I want to take care of my pack. So short of going back down there and trying to put the pieces back together, which I don't even think we can do anymore. Pretty sure that whole place is sealed up tight. Either this is the end of the line for you, Rusty, or we made a serious change to the world as we know it.
What's the world got to do with it?
Everything. You're in it.
Well, the world wasn't down there.
No, it's up here where you brought it.
It's attached to you. You're its source. Don't you get that? Don't you understand what your decision led to?
I barely decided a thing.
We all
I was just trying to protect you guys.
Exactly. We all made choices down there. And like shooting a strong eye to Colette. All of us made choices, and we are where we are.
We went down there with a plan.
Did we?
Yes, we did. Pull the claw. Save the guy.
Except there wasn't really a guy to save.
Didn't know that before we pulled the claw, did we? Can't just put it back.
Now we can't. We tried to, but rage is rage.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit of that right now.
No shit. How's your arm?
Fucking throbbing.
Now you'll live.
What do we do about my father? We know what Ulf wants.
Well,
We know what I want. We know exactly what he's going to do the moment he sees Rusty.
mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which is why we gotta sort that first.
Yeah, I'm not going to the. I'm not going.
That looks very suspicious.
Can't be worse
Could
than
we?
me showing up, right?
Could we at least just let him have the night with his wife? That's the bare minimum we could do.
It's like Ulf said. If she has a reaction to him, to you, Rusty, the way that everybody is so far looking at you, I don't want that to be the last memory you have of your wife. I don't want that to be the last memory she has of you. I can't tell you not to do that. That's personal stuff, but I don't want her remembering you like this, and I don't think you do either.
Storyteller, could I ask them, could they make like a charisma or I guess, maybe charisma leadership?
Are you wanting them to make a roll to influence you?
Yeah, because I'm not sure which way
Right.
Rusty's going to go on this.
Okay.
Do you want me to do that or do you want Tinker to do that?
Well, Tinker is making the case.
Okay.
That I
Okay.
don't want my wife to see.
Is there a target number, or am I just rolling to see how I do?
Yeah, just roll and see how you do. I'm thinking maybe
What's your resolve?
my resolve is a 3.
You need 3.
I'm going to spend one of these moons to add a couple dice then, because I'll need that. Yeah, I needed that 3. So yeah, 3 on the dot.
Uh, Doc, maybe you could go with me.
Yeah.
You know, if it goes bad, he can. Maybe she'll just have the delirium, you know, and we'll.
You can't alter her memories. I don't think we would want to.
And if your soul returns to Guy, I don't want it clinging to a memory of a broken wife.
I'm going to be clinging to her one way or the other. I mean, she's my wife.
I know.
Please. I'll take whatever precautions you want. Please.
Doc, do you think that you can help him with this?
Storyteller. Digging through every bit of information that Doc has learned, read through, is there some chance that he could do something?
No. Other than simply be there for him.
You see Doc just kind of cross his arms and take a deep breath before he starts and says, we're always taught that a patient should never be left alone in their final moments, whether it be family or us. Someone has to be there with them.
Rusty, take Doc with you. And then come back, because I don't want to have to chase you.
Okay.
Colette, as far as what to do about your dad, quite frankly, he's had a plan for you your whole life. Ulf here's had a plan for you this whole time. What the hell do you want to do?
She's really contemplating that question, because I think that she doesn't, like, she kind of knows what she wants, but then she's conflicted. And she's not turned away from you guys. She's maybe like a quarter turn, but she's just staring up at the moon in the sky. And after like, I don't know, enough time where you think maybe she like didn't hear you, you know, that awkward long pause. She takes in a deep breath and she says, I just want to know the fucking truth. And then we figure it out after that.
Then you go get the truth out of Ulf in there. Doc will take Rusty to his wife. We'll be right back here.
We all have to go to the moon.
Yes, that's why I said we'll come right back here so that we all make a decision together from there.
Okay. She takes one last look up at the moon. And as she walks back into the house, she puts a hand on Doc's shoulder and just kind of gives him a side eye. Kind of a like, be careful, and walks into the house looking for Ulf.
I think as you're walking out, walking into the house, you'll hear Doc say, "Give him hell, Letty."
Always do.
Come on, Rusty. Let's take a quick trip.
Call an Uber or what? We didn't exactly drive here. He'll go with you. We don't have to actually figure out the transportation.
Yeah, Doc would figure out the transportation to just get us to and from.
An ambulance pulls up.
Hey, storyteller, is there a tree in this backyard?
There is.
Cool.
Several.
Cool. Is it double the rage to change across the board?
The farther you are from the oratory, the easier it is.
Okay, so it's just the 2 for going to Krinos?
Yeah.
This is a pretty secluded backyard?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Great. I go down 1 rage again as I shift to Krinos, and I am going to rearrange Ulf's backyard.
Outstanding. Inside the manor house, Ulf looks up as Colette walks into the study holding the king's claw. He looks up, sets down the phone that he is on, stands. Well, you intending to use that on me?
She like puts up her finger as he starts to talk. And I'm assuming this motherfucker loaded. He's got to have one of those like glass like bottles filled with liquor. And you
Like
don't
a
know what
canter?
liquor it is. Yes.
Decanter with glasses?
With glasses, absolutely. She just beelines it. She never lets go of the blade, but she and she pours herself a fucking thick glass. And she's just chugging.
Okay.
And when she does, she like wipes her mouth and she goes, "No. I just want you to tell me the truth."
What truth are you referring to?
Did you know?
He just smiles slightly. Of course I knew.
And you gave me up?
You were claimed.
I didn't see it that way.
You were claimed as she was claimed. Your mother was claimed. As was the right of the chieftain. I fought and lost. And I lost far more than my honor on that particular evening.
And do you know why he did it?
Yes. Yes, I do. But I don't think that you're going to like the answer.
No, I'm not going to like the answer, but you're going to tell me anyway. Because that's how this works.
Because he could.
That's horseshit.
He stares you in the face, unwavering. He did it because he could, as is a king's right in all that he surveys.
I think
Because he could.
I think she kind of wavers. Like there's like almost like a squeak that comes out of her, like the beginning of like tears. Like she's angry, don't get me wrong, but like this is a lot. And she's not used to this kind of emotion. Like she's used to being upset, you know, Brian with a Y, throwback. But not sorry. But like this is another kind of upendal.
Like all kings, past, present, and future, when they see something they want, they will take it. He wanted your mother. And despite my best efforts, despite those that even rallied to my side, there's a reason. There are only 3 Shadow Lords within Montreal.
Are you the reason I went into that crypt?
Yes.
Because you want him dead by your hand or by mine?
He took something from me. And what better revenge than to have you take something of his? But the real question is, what are you going to do with it?
I can't let it go. I keep trying. Just put it on the table. Your pack hates you. They see you hold it. Just put it down. And I can't put it down. I can't. It feels good. You know, I hate him.
Hate is a powerful tool.
I don't hate many things in this life. But him, I hate him. So yeah, would I like to see his throat slashed open? Sure. But what does that do to me in the process?
It makes you chieftain.
And is it worth it?
Well, you can certainly say no one's going to tell you what to do.
I always thought I had some morals, you know, because he doesn't. He'll do whatever he wants.
You don't either. You hide amongst a pack of weaker individuals than yourself simply to shove off responsibility. And more importantly, all you had to do was set down a token of power. Yet you cling to it as if it is the very air that fills your lungs. My dear, we are the shadows of the lords for a reason. Two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, but what does that do to the balance?
Well, ask a Thurge. Welcome in, Lord Gazumba. Thank you so much for joining us this evening as we are playing Werewolf the Apocalypse, Holy Mountain, and we are in a very tense moment of RP. This is a mature game with mature content, so viewer discretion is advised.
I think she pours herself another glass. This time, not nearly as thick. Maybe like, an inch or so. A couple centimeters. Sorry, we're in Canada.
Just do the finger method.
Just do the finger. No, it's more fun. A little banter. Come on. And I think she grabs it and she goes, I'm assuming there's a gorgeous fireplace in this room. And she goes and sits in like a plush ass armchair. And she's just like staring into the flames, just like really heavily considering this.
Well, there is one thing. He walks behind you and he places a hand on your shoulder. And in that moment, from a fourth wall perspective, it is a picturesque scene with his hand on your shoulder, both of you staring at the fire. If he's gone, your mother will be free and perhaps run the wood once again.
I do miss her.
She has been a husk many of these years. Her tether to the wolf waning with every moon. And he leans down, squatting, looking at you. If not for yourself, then for her, daughter. And we cut over across the city. Standing outside your home, Rusty, Doc, standing at the fence line. You walk up and you see, looking in the front window, your wife watching TV. She gets up, wearing one of your old work shirts, her hair in a messy bun, walking with a popcorn bowl. She's looking at her phone. You can hear her say, "Where is he?" And as you approach, you catch a glimpse of your face in the reflection on the glass. The side of your face corrupted, twisted. Not you any longer. The events of the evening running through your mind, you know you did the right thing. The sounds of Tinker rusting, I can't say that you did a bad job. You did the right thing. The feeling within your gut growing. A hunger building. Looking at her, seeing your own reflection in the glass. She clicks on the remote. The news. Watching a report of an odd occurrence that happened across Montreal. A strange brownout. And she picks up the phone and she's calling down to the track. And you just see her go, "Where is he?"
I look back at Doc. You just give me a minute.
Take all the time you need. I'll be right here. You're not alone.
As I see her worrying, I approach the door. If there's like a porch light, I'm trying to angle it so that way I'm not fully lit.
Yep, you can.
And
You see her come running over. "Rusty, what? Why are you knocking at the door?" And she opens the door. "Oh, what is that?
I
Are you up bar crawling? What's that smell? What?"
No, I got in a bit of an accident.
An accident? What do you mean? And she comes out onto the porch and she like grabs a hold of you, and in that moment your face comes into the light for a moment. And she screams.
Please don't panic. It's okay. I'm okay. I'm me.
She begins backing up.
I'm okay.
Well, no. What's wrong with your face? What?
Listen to me.
No,
have a lot of
no. And you see her screaming and she slams the door shut and you hear the lock. "Go away. Just go away."
I back away from the door.
In that moment, time freezes. And you hear the hooting of an owl. Who? Looking over to the fence, you see a large gray owl, its eyes wide, looking at you.
I look at it and I look at Doc.
Doc is frozen in that moment. "Rusty, he who rages at steel, you have walked so very loudly this evening. It's corruption is on you." It flaps its wings, flies over, and lands, looking down. You must walk silently. You must observe. Yet, you walk a path that severs you from us. Why? Why must the chronicler be a man of such action?
I think maybe I'm supposed to send a message.
No. You're supposed to observe.
We send messages. We walk between the packs.
And more walking you still have to do. And the
I
owl
agree.
bolts down at you, its talons out, knocking you to the ground. This owl seeming to grow in size with each inch of distance that it crosses, and it begins pecking at your face, clawing away, ripping out an eye, and you lose all vision.
It picks out my good eye. Son of a bitch.
No, doesn't pick out your good eye.
Oh.
But you lose all vision in that moment. And next you come to. And you're on the side of the road, backpack on your back. Highway heading north. And you hear the owl looking. More walking you must do. As you hear the distinct sounds of tuned up cars and a large semi-truck racing up the road,
Where
heading
am I supposed
north.
to go? This isn't the path I would take in.
You will go between the packs, as you always have. Later on that night, in the cairn, the mood is called. And a would-be daughter stands before a false father with a blade drawn and the sound of howling. As two large, lupine-looking forms, an amalgamation of man and wolf, charge towards one another beneath the glowing cross of the holy mountain. This concludes our story of Werewolf the Apocalypse, Holy Mountain. Thank you.